OMFL.
You can't touch this.
And you're in the mix with Kinda Real Name. Here's another OMFL production.
All right, what's up, everybody? Welcome to Press Pass Live. We are so glad that you are here with us tonight. Pre-recorded. Unfortunately, I still cannot go live. It is unbelievable, but yeah, it's they still haven't fixed it. And it looks like my audio is still a little bit off, and we're gonna get it fixed. So, in fact, let's see if we can't do a little. Be right back and see if I can't fix it real quick. All right, we actually cannot fix it like that. This is terrible to be able to sit here and watch. All right, we'll see if that doesn't help line us up a little bit better. So I don't know exactly if this will work or not. We're sure going to give it a shot, and we're going to figure it out. These are the like little fine-tuned tweaks that that we still have to do here, but we're going to jump right into it. I'm glad that you're here. Press Pass Live number 167. Welcome to your weekly podcast show here for the OMFL. I'm so glad that you decided to watch us. I'm sorry that we can't be live, still having some internet issues. They are going to continue to come out until they get them fixed, but unfortunately, they are not stable enough for me to be able to stream. So I want to get the show out to you. And it's just me alone tonight. I don't know what's going on. I don't know if it's because it's starting to warm up and states are starting to open, but people are definitely kind of doing their own thing right now. And no mailbag questions this week, and nobody was able to come and join me. But it's okay. We're still going to have a good show. We're still going to give you a show. We're still going to push through and get you guys some really good stuff. So let's just jump right into it with my favorite game from the week. I was prepared to look at some division leaders and stuff, which is where we're going to spend a lot of our time today. But God, we need to give you my game of the week. And we actually just advanced a few minutes ago. And we've had some player movement. We've had some teams moving around recently. There's a lot of really good games this past week. We got New England and Tennessee playing a tight one. Jacksonville and the New York Jets, playing in a tight one. Cincinnati and Baltimore in a really tight one. Chicago and Minnesota in a really, really good game right there. And then you got Dallas and San Francisco in a really close defensive battle right there for those two teams. Arizona and Green Bay in a tight field goal battle. I'm going to go with the Chicago game. This is the game that really stuck out to me just because Chicago has struggled so much this year. Minnesota went out and made a whole ton of moves so that they could bring in some of the great defensive backs, and it's paying off because you can see right here, they're playing really, really good defense. 13 points scored in the first half, and then these teams, at least Chicago, start to roll with 14 points in the second half, only 6 from Minnesota. Minnesota's going to be that rushing dominant team. And if you look at the Chicago Bears, they've had to go to a rushing style because their quarterback has struggled. If you look on the other side, Madden, which is the quarterback's name, I think I got that right. We'll see here in just a second for Minnesota. He only passed for 118 passing yards today. So 123 rushing yards, 169 for Chicago, 156 passing yards for Chicago, 1 turnover for Minnesota, 5. Said that right. 5 turnovers for the Chicago Bears. How do you turn the ball over 5 times and still win this game? That is absolutely amazing. Time of possession was just about even. No penalties for either one of these teams. Now, I was right. Jordan Love, 183, 1 touchdown, 5 interceptions. It was really struggling, but he did have a long of 70 with 3 sacks. And then Tim Madden on the other side, 128 passing yards, 1 interception, no touchdowns. He only took 1 sack, so both of these quarterbacks really struggled on the day. Stanton is a kid that in his rookie year was really taking the league by storm, got injured, and hasn't quite been the same running back since, but you can see in this game, he looked like his old self. 21 rushes, 136 yards, and 1 touchdown. Elliott, who came over for Chicago, the Cowboys. I'm sorry, it's late at night. My brain isn't working. He comes over to Minnesota and he continues a magnificent career in the OMFL. Quietly, a magnificent career. 20 rushes, 118 yards. None of the backups really did anything of note. And of course, we're not going to have a ton of receiving yards because the quarterbacks both really struggled on the day. Faulkner was the top receiver in this game, too, for 76. Irv Smith, who is an absolute monster, 3 for 64 for the top receiver for Minnesota. I think if you look at the sacks, Chicago really struggled in this area. It was really their right tackle, Jordan Brackett. He gave up 2 sacks. Defense is where it was at, and that's where we're seeing a lot of shine today. 2 sacks for Daniel Hunter, half a sack for Blakely, 1 sack for, not even going to check that, Joel, the left outside linebacker for the Chicago Bears. And let's look at all of these turnovers that happened. Delpit had a pick. Marv Tell had a pick, strong safety. Keelan Powell, the future Hall of Fame import from Madden 18. He comes over from Atlanta. He gets a pick. Patrick Queen, my LSU linebacker that he took one pick before me. He's been outstanding this season. Clinton Dix with a pick, and then Kevin Byard with a pick. So this has got to be a frustrating game when you hold a team down this way on defense. You get 5 interceptions. You just can't seem to get things rolling on offense. You only put up 16 points, and Chicago comes away with a very big victory. That is my fire drill game of the week from week number 9. We're already at week number 10. I am going to enjoy a really good bye week that I feel like I've earned. Some really good games that are going to be taking place. Colts and Dolphins should be a good one. Cowboys and Panthers with a couple of new owners there. Maniac going to play his old team. Redskins and Buccaneers should be a really, really good game. Bears and Cardinals, after we seen what the Bears were able to do last time, that should be a really good game. I'll look and see what Lions and Rams might be a good game. Giants and Eagles should be a good game. The Vikings Titans has the potential to be a good game. Offensive firepower house against a team that was offensive and really has flipped the script and now a very defensive team. And then Raven Browns. We know what the Ravens did last week for the big victory. They're playing the red hot Massimo and his Browns. So that should be some really good games on the schedule right there for week number 10. All right, let's look at the league movement and talk about the teams that have kind of flip-flopped a little bit here. The number 1 seed in the entire league, Panthers, Trey, he actually leaves the Carolina Panthers to take over the Cincinnati Bengals. Unfortunately, we had a super unfortunate incident last weekend, and I had to let go of an owner here. It's never fun to do that, but there's some lines that you can't cross, and a lot of lines were crossed that night. And so definitely having some things that we wish were not the same. You know what? Excuse me one quick second here, my friends. There is one thing that I think I definitely want to do. I don't know if this is going to work. We're going to take that off. We're going to see if this doesn't match up just a little bit better. Again, we're trying a bunch of new stuff and trying to get things to kind of line up just right. And I noticed in a couple of my videos that the audio that you guys were hearing was actually slightly delayed from what I was reacting. And so I was trying to get that to line up, but it's just throwing things a little too far off. And so we'll continue to mess with it until we get it. But anyway, Trey leaves the Panthers. He goes over to the Cincinnati Bengals. The Colts and Dwayne will be taking over the Dallas Cowboys for Madden 21, where we were able to work out a deal where we can stay with the Colts for the rest of the season. We already know that Massimo took over the Browns a while back. We got Big Hurt, who took over the Buccaneers a while back. The Chiefs, that's going to be Penguins. He came over from the Steelers. A brand new owner, Tim. That's not fair. A returning owner, and Tim is back in the league. He took over the Jets. And that's going to be a couple of the big ones. And then, of course, we got another returning owner that took over the Cowboys here. And so those are going to be some of the big movements right here for some of those really top teams that could really shake some things up. And I think is really going to twist the power. You know, can Maniac finish strong? He's taking over a 7-win team here that's in the number 1 seed, but not a roster that was built for him. Definitely a roster that has some talent. And we've seen what Trey was able to do with them, and they weren't really built for him either. But can he continue this momentum and finish strong? The Falcons have been unplugged. We expect him to plug back in really soon, but they have been unplugged this season due to some personal issues. But can he finish strong? The tight AFC race between the Colts and the Titans, is it going to get shaken up by Massimo and his Browns? Is it going to get shaken up by Penguins and the Chiefs? Can Kevin finish strong? This week's matchup against the Colts is going to go a long way there. And then you can't count the Bengals out. It's only 5-4. We still have an entire half football to play here. Can Trey step into the Bengals and really get them rolling and make a run there in the AFC? And once the playoffs start, all bets are off of exactly what will happen. So we're setting ourselves up for an exciting second half of football here in the OMFL. And I can't wait to see exactly how it's going to play out. This movement and shakeup has really twisted the power here, and it's going to be really interesting to see who can finish strong, who's going to come back to the pack. Can the Buccaneers overtake the Panthers? Can the Saints, my Saints, can I get back in it? Doubtful, but can I get back in it? On the Seahawks, they've hit a couple of stumbling blocks. Are they able to keep their Massimo and his brand new Browns? He's got his quarterback back from Kansas City. Can he make a run here? Are the Redskins at 7-1 poised to take over the NFC now? So many questions, a lot of player movement, and I think it's really going to shake things up for an interesting playoff here for season 91. And then you can never count out the Falcons. If he steps back in enough, he gets a late wild card to get in and really start to make noise and make teams remember exactly who he is, because there is a lot of potential there. Which kind of brings us along the same lines of what we've been talking about here, and that is player movement and teams that have surprised us. Again, we had some player movement with one owner deciding to leave us, or two owners actually deciding to leave us before the season. Two of the new guys that got called up actually felt like they weren't ready for the OMFL. They went back down. We've had some movement here. We've had some teams come open. Guys are starting to think about Madden 21, which we'll talk about here in just a minute. And guys are really starting to get ready for that. And it brings the question for me, who's the most surprising team? It has to be the Panthers. There's a little bit of an asterisk, I guess you could say, is because they have a brand new owner now. What is Maniac going to do taking over this roster? Trey was an outstanding player, stepped into a team that had a talented quarterback, had a talented defense, a lot of talent on this team. Trey was able to harness that, even though it wasn't built to his style, and still find ways to get victories here. Now, the caveat there is the Falcons have been unplugged, and so that kind of opened the door, but you can only win the games that are on your schedule. You can only play the guys that are available, and there are some games that are available right there. And so the big question there is, can Maniac continue this run here? The Colts and the Titans aren't surprising at all. A little bit of a surprise for the Redskins at 7-1, just because they've always been one of the better teams here. But he is really playing dominant football, and he's able to win close, tight games. He and I had a barn burner the other day, and he's just playing good quality quarterback play. He's not turning the ball over. Solid run game, and a really good defense. You have to talk about the Browns and the Buccaneers. Those are two surprises, along with the Dolphins. Those are going to round out all of my surprises this season. Not because these guys aren't talented, but again, they're taking over brand new rosters. The Browns kind of had a start-stop there at the beginning. They're clearly rolling now with a 4-game winning streak. They got their team I don't know what that is. Team to 6-2, and they're primed to step in with the big boys in the AFC. Again, the question is going to come: can he handle the Titans? Can he handle the Colts? Those are always going to be the measuring sticks in the AFC for the OMFL. The Buccaneers, Big Hurt's always been a hit and miss player, but more good than bad. He is taking over a roster that he has been able to put his spin on it. He had an amazing draft this past OMFL draft for season 91. He's able to bring in a quarterback that's playing efficiently for him. He's on a 2-game winning streak here. He's got his team at 6-2, 257 for, 201 against. That defense worries me a little bit. He's more of a defensive-minded coach, but he's playing very effective with this quarterback, and that's going to lead to wins. And then you got the Dolphins. I wouldn't say the Chiefs, mainly because Penguins has won here before. And I can't say the Jets because Clyde left his team. He's taken over. I can't even remember who he ended up taking, but he's got a new team. We've got a new owner and Tim stepping up. It'll be interesting to see what Tim can be there. But the Dolphins here, 247 for, 153 against. That's going to be in the upper half of both of those sections. Did hit a stumbling block last week, and this week is going to be a measuring stick against the Indianapolis Colts and Dwayne. But you got to give a tip to the cap there to Kevin. He is playing really good football, very efficient. He's rebuilt that roster over time. It's taken him time, but man, he's right there in the running. And anytime the Dolphins are good again, the AFC is just that much more fun. And so those are going to be some of my surprises for this season, and some of the teams that I'm really interested to see how they finish off this season. We're going to talk about Madden 21 here now. Some of the news was delayed because of the terrible things that are happening in our world right now, and they're super unfortunate, but I can respect. I've seen some comments in our chat that the game isn't ready, so they have to delay. I think we're being a tad harsh and a bit unfair, to be totally honest, because the truth is, man, it's still off, isn't it? Still off by just a hair. You know what? Give me one quick second here, friends. I'm dead set on fixing this. Oh, there we go. Is that gonna mess us up? No, not gonna get us there. Let's see if that gets us there. Hello, hello, test test. Still a little bit off. One more. We'll give it one more shot. We're gonna give it one more shot here. I'm sorry, this is the podcast, but there's actually no other way to do this to get it to test just right. Is this gonna be good? I think so. All right, I think we might have hit it. I think we might have got this delay all synced up. So I don't know. I'll go back and watch it. It's really close. It's much better than it was. It's terrible. You can't watch something when the sync is off. I'm really trying to get it fixed. But Madden 21 needed to delay their news. And so the question really was going to be to talk about what are we expecting to see from Madden 21. And I think one of the key features that would not surprise me, there's some debate out in the Madden community about it, but won't surprise me at all, is if we have crossplay. A lot of games have brought in crossplay. You're seeing crossplay in a lot of different, like PUBG, Call of Duty. Crossplay is coming in a lot of different ways. And so it's still a little bit. All right, we're going to try that as we go here. Crossplay is just came. This is a terrible camera angle, too. I'm just completely criticizing my entire stream right now. But whatever it is, what it is. I think crossplay is going to be a really big feature that we're going to see in Madden 21. I really think that so many games have went to it. I don't know that they're going to do it this year. I don't know that they'll ever do it, to be completely honest. But a lot of games are moving to free to download, free to play, but then you pay for all the extra benefits and extra things, season passes, things like that. I would be completely open to that if there was franchise things that were worth the money. I don't pay for a lot of my other games. I know a lot of other people do, but there's some potential there, and it'd be interesting to see if Madden is starting to go that route. I'm not really expecting that, but I am expecting some crossplay to happen in Madden 21. Some of the things I'd love to see that I know we're not going to get, and so it's a little bit of a waste of time. I'd love to see export roster feature. I think it would just open up. It seems like an easy feature to add. Maybe it's not, but the ability to export our OMFL CFM roster and being able to play with that roster in real time in a practice game, I think would increase engagement. It would increase owners' buy-in to the league. It would increase owners practicing and getting better. I think the skill gap would get better and close, and players' skills would get better. I just think a lot of really good things would come from being able to export your roster. Outside of that, guys, I got to be honest, I don't expect any major changes. I expect them to continue to work on the tools that are already there. So I expect Superstar version 2.0. I expect player movement 3.0 at this point. I expect the scenario engine to increase and get better. I would expect maybe some options with contracts. I'd love to see them spend some time with the drafts. I don't expect it to happen, though, unless they just kind of blow us away because it's not a sexy back of the box feature. And because of that, I just don't see them adding that in for whatever reason. And so I do think there is a potential, though, that we just see an increase in what's already there, a fine-tunement of what's already there, a taking away of some of the features that didn't work and an adjusting of the features that did work. And so hopefully in some form or fashion, they'll fine-tune that in a way that feels different. And I know that there are pessimists that say it's Madden 18 version 4.0, and maybe so in a lot of ways. But I remember the days when the game was stripped and rebuilt, and guys were complaining about that. And so I think if they can just add a few little features that the franchise community really wants, it gives me hope. And the other thing that kind of gives me hope is the people that are working on it. And I know that NCAA 14 was one of the greater football games out there, and I know a lot of you guys enjoyed NCAA 14. And the men that worked on that game and that helped bring a lot of those features are now working on franchise. And so that fresh new eyes and abilities, I think it's going to be a longer term play, but still it has the potential to begin to add in some of the things that we really, really, really miss when it comes to Madden 21. Let's look at the mailbag. I don't think we have anything in the mailbag. I glanced a little bit earlier and it looked like there were no new questions, and I think we covered all of the questions, but we can definitely take another quick look here. And if not, we're going to wrap the show up. It'll be a short show. It'll be one of the shorter shows that we've had in quite some time. A long day for myself, and so maybe I'm just a little short-winded, but I'm also trying really hard to work on not being long-winded. Let me go back here because I could have swore that we left one or two questions on this back page here, because I know there was a ton of them. Yeah, I thought we didn't get to all of them. Maybe not. Maybe we did get to all of them. I guess so. So that's going to kind of bring us to the end of our show, which is a little sad. We're not live. There's not a whole lot to talk about. There's not a lot here, but kind of is what it is. We are where we are, right? And this is why we continue to put out new stuff, and hopefully you guys will re-engage with us. I know the summer's here. You know, COVID and the social isolation has wore down on all of us. But I really hope that you guys re-engage with us, and let's finish strong. And that can be hard when you know it's the last season, but you're still playing towards imports and draft picks, and there's just a lot of potential here. This is our Daddy Leagues page. If you don't ever go visit, I encourage you to go visit. I need to do some updating of owner stuff. I didn't get to it this weekend. I just was very, very busy, but I will get to it here in the next couple of days. And then, of course, our website, grownfolksoc.com. You can follow us on Twitter, grownfolksoc, right here on Twitch, grownfolksoc, on YouTube, Grown Folks Online Community, our website, grownfolksoc.com. Tons of new content. I got a new All 22 that's out. I'm going to do a new one this week about the pass game. It's not a ton there for the pass game, but we'll cover a quick video for the pass game before we move over to the defense. Tons of PUBG stuff. I've been trying to find some new things, and then I'm kind of really trying to work on our YouTube page and start making other videos. So I just finished a series around streaming, unboxing of my brand new Mac, and then I'm going to start a series around Madden commissioning and just tips and tricks, and sharing some insight that I've learned over 20 years of Madden commissioning. I'm also learning some brand new programs, so just be patient with us. But let me quickly talk about our partners, daddyleagues.com. You guys know how I feel about Poppy. If you are a league out there and you don't have a Daddy Leagues, shame on you. Go get you a Daddy Leagues page at $35 a year. They are beautiful. They host all your stuff. We have a custom page, but you have the ability to customize your page, and he's continuing to add features there and just been a steady rock and a steady force for the Madden community. And if it wouldn't be for daddyleagues.com, I don't know that I would know one of my very close friends here, and Pooty, who used to run kind of runs, I don't know, the NBC, and all of those great guys that Roger and all those awesome dudes at the NBC that are now part of us. We wouldn't know them if it weren't for Daddy League, so I'm a big supporter. Leaguecrawler.com, they actually put out a survey. Yeah, I guess you'd call it a survey. I think it's called a survey. He put out a survey, though, asking some questions about his site. He's thinking about doing a revamp. I'm a big fan of Matt. He does some amazing stuff. We don't get to use access to his YouTube or his Twitch page and streaming our stuff But hopefully we'll slowly start to work towards that, and I'll start finding some games that I can do commentary on. It's just not a lot of people play super late at night, and it's very hard for me to do everything I do here, and trying to align schedules can be extremely, extremely difficult. But I'm going to put forth effort and see if we can't do that, because I know so many guys like the overlay and like being able to watch that. But go support our guide at leaguecrawler.com. Fill out his survey. Go create a profile if you don't have one. Give ratings, leave comments or profiles for this league and all the other leagues here, because we really want to support Matt and everything he's doing. And then our friends over at SodenBowl.com and Soden, they put out amazing content. We don't super know him personally. It's not like we're best friends or anything. We actually rarely talk, but I respect his work ethic and the content that they put out. I'm actually jealous of it. I wish I had more time, but I do so much just kind of in life, and here it's just been difficult. And so I'm hoping that we can continue to grow the partnership, especially if there's cross play with maybe tournaments and different things like that. But if you're on the Xbox One side and you're watching this, go check out Soden over at Soden Bowl. They put out amazing content. Their owners are doing shows, amazing graphics, and just some of the best stuff. So please, I am encouraging you to go check them out, and I think that you will be greatly impressed with everything that you see there. And then, of course, all of our stuff here. It is almost time for our summer drive, and so here in another month, we're going to start our summer drive for funds, because it takes money to run all this stuff, and we are grossly. It happens every year. We get to the end of the year, and we've used up all the money on T-shirt giveaways and Madden giveaways and the trophies here in the OMFL, and software to run everything, and just like all the tools necessary that it takes. And we're going to need some help, and so we'll make a push here in another month. But we're always looking for new platinum owners here in the OMFL. I know that is coming to a close. We're not quite ready to give out platinum owners for Madden 21. But we will do that sometime in July as we prepare. And that's another good thing that I should have mentioned with the Madden news, is that we do know it's going to come out towards the end of August. So the rumors of December and late September, I think, are squashed, and we'll get some news here in the next couple of weeks about Madden 21. And it does look like we know when the release date is going to be. So again, guys, I thank you so much for watching the show. I'm sorry for me messing around and doing some things in here. I'm just trying to get some things fixed as we continue to tweak and move some things around. But I hope that you're enjoying some of the new overlay here soon. We will be back live. We'll be able to have chats and all that fun stuff that you guys do. And I'm really ready to unveil my new stream for my games. We've got some fun gifts and different things that we're going to have on there. It's going to be fun. It should be engaging, and I hope that you guys come and hang out. So I hope you have a great rest of your week. Leave your comments here. If you don't agree with my surprises, if you have your own surprises, let me know what you think about the league movement. Leave your comments here. I read them all, and I hope that you have a great rest of your week. Stay safe. God bless you. See you next time. Peace.